Okay, welcome back. And again, we're studying patriarchs and prophets to give us some more insight into creation. Okay, and let's see, we are on page, I think we're still on page 50. Okay, and we're reading about creation and about how Adam and Eve, okay, were able to converse with nature, every living thing in nature, just magnificent. And we'll be able to do the same thing when Jesus comes to take us home and teach us about His creation. I'm just looking so forward to that. Okay. All right, let's keep reading here. With every living creature from the mighty Leviathan. Okay, now the only thing I can think of a Leviathan would be a whale, maybe an animal like a whale, but it was a huge creature in the ocean. Okay, all right. With every living creature, from the mighty Leviathan that playeth among the waters, to the insect mote that floats in the sunbeam. Okay, little tiny insects can communicate with them. Adam was able to do. Adam was familiar. He had given to each its name. We read this in the story of redemption and in Scripture. And he was acquainted with the nature and habits of all. Okay? I mean, can you just imagine? I just can't even imagine. He knew the secrets of every living thing and could communicate with it. Okay? From a little ant up to a whale, a giraffe, your puppies, your horses. I mean, the trees, the flowers, the irises, the lilies, the blades of grass. I mean, we could just go on and on and on. It is beyond our comprehension completely. We can't even imagine anything like that. But I did read somewhere where if you talk to the plants, your plants that you have in your home, that they live longer. Now, I don't know anything about that or if it's true, but it's really interesting to know that Adam was given the power to communicate with God's nature, and they communicated back with him. Just amazing. Okay? Now, let's continue to read. All right? God's glory in the heavens, the innumerable worlds in their orderly revolutions, the balancings of the clouds, those clouds that look like they're just hanging up there, okay? The mysteries of light and sound, of day and night, all were open to the study of our first parents. And again, in our limited, with our limited minds right now, and the limited knowledge that we have, God still has made it possible for us to look into the balancings of the clouds, how the clouds are balanced up in the sky, okay? Or even studying the clouds, okay? The mysteries of light and sound, and of day and night. We are still able, even now with the mysteries of the internet, okay? The miracle of the internet. We can go on the internet and study the clouds. We can look into how the trees are made, how grass, okay? He's given scientists, okay, knowledge into those things. There are people who enjoy studying nature, and so they transfer that knowledge and that information onto us via the internet or even books on astronomy, astrology, I mean, nature, animals, okay? It is just the neatest thing. Zoology, okay? We can learn, even those of us who are not scientists, okay, in our finite knowledge, we can learn something about God's wonderful creation, okay? And it will help us to love Him more and to see how wonderful He is, okay? Even looking into the human body, it is just a miracle. And those of you who have had an opportunity to even watch babies being born, human babies being born, it is just beyond comprehension. And even those that are fortunate to be veterinarians, okay, They watched the miracle of of animals being born. Okay, it's just fascinating. Okay, how God does this. All right. On every leaf of the forest or stone of the mountains, in every shining star, in earth and air and sky, God's name was written. And for us today, God's name is written in all of those things. The order and harmony of creation spoke to them of infinite wisdom and power. They were ever discovering some attraction that filled their hearts with deeper love that called forth fresh expressions of gratitude. Okay? So, again, if we take the time to look into God's creation, okay, to look into the wonders of nature, okay, to look into His mind, His thinking, okay, we will just see things that we will learn things, and we will see things that are just unimaginable, okay, if we take the time to study and to look into it, okay. Now what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to continue reading a little bit, and then I'm going to have to change the page, okay, but I want you just to bear with me as I do that, okay, in just a second. All right. The order and harmony of creation spoke to them of infinite wisdom and power. They were ever discovering some attraction that filled their hearts with deeper love and called forth fresh expressions of gratitude. But so long as they remained loyal to the divine law. Now, she says as long as they remain loyal to the divine law, and again, that divine law was and is God's moral code for us, which was the moral code for them, the Ten Commandments. Okay? And the Ten Commandments spells out no adultery, no stealing, no blasphemy of God's name, okay, keeping of His Sabbath, okay, and no killing. As long as they remain loyal to the divine law, their capacity to know, to enjoy, and to love would continually increase. Okay? Does everybody understand that? As long as we remain loyal and true to our Creator, okay, and His will for us in our lives, He will increase our capacity to learn, to enjoy, and to love. Because He is the only one who can. He's the only one who has perfect knowledge, who has perfect joy, who has perfect love to embark, to give us. All of that comes from Him. He is the all-wise personal God, okay, for each and every one of us. He is not a piece of stone. He is not a piece of stone. He is not a thing, okay? He is God. He is personal. He is real, and He communicates with each one of us, okay? And when He comes, we will all have to bow down to Him, and He will come in the form of Jesus Christ, okay, our Creator, okay, and the one who died on the cross for us to reveal His true self to us, okay? Now let's keep reading here. They would be constantly gaining new treasures of knowledge, discovering fresh springs of happiness, and obtaining clearer and yet clearer conceptions of the immeasurable, unfailing love of God. And we'll be right back.